off faster. Yeah, I don't know whether you'd be able to, you're not going to get much of a hit in there, but
I'm quite impressed how well the wrap has stuck to it. Doesn't look as big as the last one.
no, I was just about to say it doesn't actually look anywhere near as bad as the other one.
I thought this was the worst side when we were feeling it. But then again, you know, you haven't got your pointy hammer out yet, so... Still can't believe my strut brace has gone rusty on the bottom, and that was on top of the wrap, so that's not because of the turret, that's just because the brace has gone rusty. I wouldn't mind, but it wasn't exactly a cheap brace. Right, ready when you are. I can hear it cracking. It's gone very deep again.
Hard to believe it is that deep.
I know.
That's the turret there.
Look, the thick plate underneath.
Yep, that's the actual turret there. So that's how thick it is.
The strut top.
Yeah, the strut top. Well, that's it, we're at the spot welds now, see? So, the thing now is to cut it out. That little drain hole. There we are, down to the good metal.
I suppose really, when you look at it there, it wasn't bulged anywhere near as much as the other side, was it? Because that's the proper hump there, isn't it, that you followed on the other side?
Yeah. Have a crack at that, see if we can punch that through. I have a feeling it's underneath it.
Yeah. Seeing yet the turret's not as bad, or the strut top's not as bad, but now we found little bit traces underneath the wing. We're trying to get the wing off.
Japanese.
No, that one little piece. We've got to take the whole wing off. And because it's where a couple of skins come together, you're now going to have to cut the remainder of the 2 layers off, and then put a plate in the bottom to link to the first skin, and then another plate over the top. Awesome. And then we can fix the strut. So what we thought was going to be reasonably simple, because it was only doing the strut, which we've done on the other side over there. Unfortunately, it's now going to be a bit more difficult, because we're going to have to do this as well. And I'm just about to get the wing off. Happy days. So you can see through the goggles the different layers of metal. With the heat pipe.
Yeah. You can.
It's becoming to be a bit of a fetish, this cutting holes in my car malarkey.
Yep.
Carefully you put those pliers.
See what I mean? There's a hole in that panel there underneath it. But I want to cut that piece out as well. Because I don't like it. I'm not happy with that.
So the reason you're cutting this piece out, this underneath piece out, is because you don't want to just weld over the top and trap the rot in.
At no point it's still going to rust even more. And we won't be able to.
It'll just like accelerate the process of it coming back, I suppose.
Yeah, it's like anything. It's like a counter. You've got to cut it all out, otherwise you're wasting your time. You're just going to have to keep going back and back to it all the time. Obviously it won't come through in sort of 12 months.
Well,
but it will come back.
You can clearly see now, you know, the 2 definitive layers. Where you're gonna, it's not hard, is it? Where you're gonna stitch like a new piece in there, like over the top, and then a new piece in here over the top of that.
So what I'll do is I'll put the new piece in, and then I'll stitch it to the turret top, and then I'll put the other piece over the top of that, and then stitch that to the turret top, so all of it will be solid, stitched back as it originally was.
Yeah.
So it's not just a case of putting a plate in there and then just put the other one over the top and leaving that just loose, because that would be pointless. We like leaving it as it is now and just plating over the top.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that, so I want to keep the strength. So put a new piece in here, stitch it all the way along, and then a new piece over the top of that, and then stitch that all the way along, and then it's doubly strong, as it should be.
Cool. Yeah, so the reason that we think the layers have gone under there is because that hole, which leads right the way to the outside, as you can see, like the underneath, and the shit guards don't cover it, so we think the wheel, all the spray off the wheel has come up, and then because this panel was originally sealed down there, the water has then just sat in here with nowhere to go, and that's what's ate away that piece of the panel. because it wasn't quite flush, was it? When it was spot welded down, it wasn't spot welded flush like it is on that side. It's all flush, so you can see that the water can't get underneath. But that is what we think has caused that little hole. Looks cool though from this angle, because you can see all the different, you know, like sections of the box and that.
Well, if you show this piece here, you can see where we put oil in that box section before, and now the oil's travelled down. And this is where the water is. You can see the water brown stain marks behind there, look.
Yeah.
And the same there, where the water's actually got inside from here.
Yeah.
Through that hole, run inside the box and run all the way down and coming out through the end of the panel here.
Yeah.
So we're going to put more oil inside here before we put the wing back on to let that soak in. Now that this will be sealed, no water will be able to get in, so it should protect it for years to come. Okay. Right, what I'm going to do now is switch the nozzle, because I'm going to weld this piece in here first, and then it'll overlap, see, to cover that weld, and then I'll switch back to this nozzle to run that along there.
Okay.
Because that way, if it moves, I won't have a gap this side. If I have a gap there, it doesn't matter, because I can just run it anyway.
Cool. So while you're welding that, I'm going to deal with the fact that underneath my strut brace ends have gone rusty, which is actually nothing to do with the strut tops, it's coming from the inside. Focus, which you can see is actually coming from the inside of the strut brace itself. So I'm going to grind them up and then can repaint them. Right, so these now are all prepped, ready to be painted. Meanwhile, over here, the spot welds are getting lifted off, ready for that to be plated and that to be plated. So they've now been hung up, painted white. So they look a little bit better. Look a bit better.
Champion Babylon, I'm a I'ma die young. Champion Babylon, champion Babylon. I'ma die young. I'ma die young. Hey, yo, tonight we die young. Look in my eyes, see how far I've come. Better go and get your gun. Homie, I am on the loose. I'm looking through the bars unless I am in the booth. And I live it every day, I've been doing it for years. Plus I'm here to stay, I don't need no souvenir. Nobody want beef, that shit'll get dirty. Home stepping, tell them that I said it. Champion Babylon, champion Babylon. I'ma die young. I'ma die young. Champion Babylon, champion Babylon. I'ma die young. I'ma die young. Born in the belly of the beast, climbed off the throat, now I'm staring out the teeth. Why these niggas speak at a higher octave? I love when these niggas talk shit, they should stop it. Flow stays hotter than the tropics. Don't worry, bro, I got this. Saying they can kill me like they really pop shit, or they got the rock like Dwayne Johnson. They should've weighed their options. Nothing in common. Girls look at beans like I Betty Hype. But those my old bitches.
Right, moving.
On the plate. Like flexing away.
Yep. Should be anyway.
Yeah, it's looking alright now. Just needs a, like you say, a coat of white, doesn't it? After we've done the other
just sand
hole.
that down nice and smooth, and then just give it a coat on the top. Jobs are good.
Imagine if I had time, I barely write, and maybe I spaz. I used to flow like cassette decks, now I'm moving like an iPad. And dudes remind me of my dad, they dip out, and then they wonder why you flipped out. Maybe I'm tripping, nah, y'all slipping. I'ma take a ride, let the music move me on. Start a ride and dance all night, hope you miss me when I'm gone. 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 I hope you miss me when I'm gone. Hope you miss me when I'm gone. I hope you miss me when I'm gone. Hope you miss me when I'm gone. I hope you miss me when I'm gone. Champion Babylon, champion Babylon. I'ma die young. I'ma die young. Champion Babylon, champion Babylon. I'ma die young. I'ma die young. Champion Babylon, champion Babylon. I'ma die young.
There we go. For that. Oh, fucking hell, extension lead there. So on this angle you can barely see that first plate. There it is. That's it. Strut top number 2 done. And an extra little bonus, well, 2 bonus plates on the box section on the inner wing. 2 down, 2 to go. All we need to do now is the ones on that.
Looks
so much better now it's back together. And it does look better than white, I agree. Yeah, cool.